Okay, in this video I'm going to do two examples, and your own problem is the third one on the back. If you think you can get it after the first one, you can go do that problem. Don't do that one. Do the third one. That's going to be the one you do on your own. Now, here's what it says. It says, I have a 10 by 9 foot garden. You add a uniform walkway around the garden. That means it's the same all the way around. That's what uniform means. The area is 306 square feet. Find the width of the walkway. What I'm trying to accomplish up here is to write an equation that I'm able to solve, okay? It's familiar to me. So what I need to do from this shape is construct an area equation. So if area is length multiplied by width. So one parenthesis is for the length, the other is for the width, and you can put equals A. That's not really all that necessary, but that's what you're doing. So your length. So from here to here, we know we have 10 units, and then the outsides are my x's, because that's what I'm trying to figure out, how many feet wide that walkway is. Okay. So I have two x's and a 10, so that would be 2x plus 10, and then the width would be 9, and then 2x's and a 9, so that'd be 2x plus 9. So the picture kind of shows you what's happened. You got 10 by 9, you're building the walkway. You need to find how many feet the walkway is, what that x is. So we need to multiply this out. So I need to take 2x times 2x, and then I need to take 2x and multiply it by 9, and then that's the end of that 2x. Then 10, same thing with 10. So 10 and 10, and then times 2x and by 9. Now remember, we want all those x's to have first power. So 1, 1, 1, 1, and then nothing. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then x, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times 9 is 18, then it's just x to the first, and then 10 times 2 is 20 with x to the first, and then 10 times 9 is 90. Now some of these powers are the same, so I want to line up my blanks. So x to the second is the highest. So for x to the second, and you can keep putting equals a till we're down here. So I have 4 for x to the second. For x, I've got 18 plus 20, and that's 38. And then 90 for that. Okay, so now I'm ready to go. Okay, I've made my equation. I've simplified the equation by multiplying. Now I come down here, and I have 4x to the second plus 38x plus 90. But instead of equals A, we put 306 because that's the area. See, and that's how I should be doing any shape problem. I need to write a simplified area for the shape. Now, sometimes if the shape's a little bit more difficult than a rectangle, but in algebra, we just stick with rectangles. Write your simplify it, and now you can solve an equation which you're familiar with. So we know there's two answers because of the x to the second, okay? Now, this is not set, okay? We need to set this so I can draw my factoring boxes. Okay, so I need to set it myself equal to 0. So blank x second plus blank x plus blank equals 0. So for x second, I have 4. For x, I have 38. And then for non-x's, we have these two numbers, but they're on different sides of the equation. So I need to bring this over here. So I subtract 306, and now we're at 0, okay, just like we should be. And then I subtract 306 under the 90. So now I can put those together, but I don't add them, okay? I need to subtract them. And it's the 90 that you want to subtract first. So that's negative 216. Now I know exactly what my three terms are, okay? So I do my GCF, and then my table, okay, where I split it in half, and the bottom asks for the parentheses. So I'll do my GCF out here. So I don't have a negative in the front. I'm not going to do a negative. And I have x to the second on the 4, x to the first on 38, but I don't have an x on 216. So I can't put an x here, here, or anywhere here. Okay? You can't put it here and here and not here. That doesn't work. I saw some people doing that before. Don't do it. Now, you just go to your GCF calculator and you punch in 438 and 216. And you come up with 2 as your GCF. So 2 comes out, and I go divide by just 2, not 2x, okay? So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and we'll still have x to the second, and then 38 divided by 2 is 19, positive 19. We'll still have x to the first, and then negative 216 divided by 2 is negative 108. Okay, now ABC that, okay, and I take A times C. 2 times negative 108 gives me negative 216. So don't be a wuss here. You can do it. You have negatives, so you're going to minus. All story problems you minus. And you're trying to get to 19 positive. 1 and 216. 216 minus 1 is 250. 216 divided by 2 is 108. 108 minus 2, though, is 106. Divided by 3. The one I got on the assignment's not this difficult. 72 minus 3 is 69, okay? You got to be patient here. 4 and 54. 54 minus 4 is 50. Divided by 5, got a decimal, so I go to 6. 6 and 36. 36 minus 6 is 30. So you're getting closer to 19. You know you're making progress if you're getting closer. Nope. Okay, 8 and 27. So let's say I'm not great at mental math. I take 27 minus 8 and see what I get. 19, which matches that. So those are the ones I want to use. So 27 and 19 is positive, so 27 is positive. And when I have a negative up there, the signs have to be the opposite, minus. Okay, now my A is 2x to the second. Remember, it's not 4 anymore. It's now 2. So when I make my parentheses out, I want to put a 2 in front of each x. 2x, 2x, and then minus 8. That's a 2 right there. So minus 8 plus 27. Okay, so 2 and 8. The GCF out of those two is 2. So we're going to divide by 2, and that's 1x minus 4. And then 2 and 27, the GCF's 1. Okay, so dividing by 1 just keeps it at 2x plus 27. Okay, now you did have a GCF of 2, so bring it down. And all this crap equals 0. Well, there's no x here, so these are my factors I want to use to solve. Okay, and just do that outside somewhere. 1x minus 4 could equal 0. Or 2x plus 27 could equal 0. So I dot and circle, then plus 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. And then if I divide by 1, I'm still at 4. So 4 is my first answer. Then minus 27, 0 take away 27 is negative 27. And then I divide by my 2. So negative 27 divided by 2 is negative 13.5. Now, the answer you want to write over here is the bigger answer, 4. So it's 4 feet. Okay? All those x's are 4s now. Okay, my next problem, same idea. We want to come down here and we want to get an equation that I can write and solve. So again, we have an 8 by 6 inch center and a wooden uniform border around a trivet. The area is 120. I don't use the 120 till I'm down here. Okay, I'll just put 120 there. How wide's the border? So again, you're talking area, okay? And again, that's a length times a width. That's any time in algebra you need a length and a width. That equals your area, which we later put in 120. So 8 and then x and x. So that's going to be 2 x's plus an 8. Then the width is 6, and that's 2 x's plus a 6. So now I multiply this out. 2x times 2x, 2x times 6. And then I can forget about that 2x, and then I multiply the 8 times those two. So 8 times 2x and 8 times 6. Okay, remember, put 1s in front. 1, 1, 1, nothing, nothing, 1, nothing. So that's 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. X to the first. and then 16, x to the first, and then 48. Again, those two would get added. So the highest power is a 2. And you can keep putting equals a. You really don't have to because you already put the 120. So 4. 12 plus 16 is 28. And then we have 48. So this is what I'm going to line up because the a is 120. Okay? So 4x to the second plus 28x plus 48 equals 120. So again, there's two answers, but this is not set. With these area problems or the shape problems, you got to set it yourself. So for x second, I have 4. X, I have 28. Non-x's, I have these two, but this 120's got to get out of here because then that becomes 0, which is what I have here. And minus 120. 48 minus 120 is negative 72. So now I see the three terms. So see three terms, and you know you're going with the GCF and the T table. So GCF, remember, do you have a negative in the first number? No. Do you have x on every number? Well, I got x second. I have x to the 1, but nothing there. So don't put an x here, here, or anywhere underneath. Okay, then I calculate the GCF 4, 28, and 72. And I actually get 4, okay? So I put a 4, not 4x though, okay? It's just a 4. So you just divide by 4 on all these, not 4x. So that's 1x to the second. 28 divided by 4 is 7 with x to the first. And then negative 72 divided by 4 is negative 18. Okay, so the ABC now comes from here. So I take A times C, 1 times negative 18. Well, that's negative 18. So I got another negative, as I always do on story problems. These are always end up being minus, and we're trying to get to 7, which is positive. 1 and 18, that's 17. 18 divided by 2 is 9, okay? And 9 minus 2 is 7, bingo. So 7 plus, so 9's plus. We have a negative up there again, so the signs are the opposite. Okay, now my a is 1x to the second this time, so that will mean when I make the parentheses, I start with 1 in front of each x. Minus 2 plus 9. Now you can GCF those, but it's going to be 1, okay? So that's 1, that stays 1x minus 2. And then the GCF out of 1 and 9 is 1. Whenever 1's one of the numbers, the GCF's 1. Okay, now we did have our 4 GCF. Okay, so dot, dot. And remember, all this crap is equal to 0, okay? So then I can do my F's where they need to go. Not there because I don't have an x. So 1x minus 2 equals 0. 1x plus 9 equals 0. So I dot and circle plus 2. So I get 2 for my first answer. You can divide by 1 if you want, but it just keeps it at 2. And then dot and circle minus 9. So 0 take away 9 is negative 9. And then divide by 1. Keeps it at negative 9. Now the higher answer is 2, my positive, so 2 inches is how wide the border was. So again, I kind of set you up to set up your parentheses, multiply it out, bring it down here. Remember to minus that, okay? Don't just add those together when doing the third blank.